Mr. President, I'm one of the two people left in the Congress that had something to do with No Child Left Behind. The other one's John Boehner, the Speaker of the House. I'll never forget that night in 2001 in the basement of the Capitol after the conference committee finally came to an agreement on No Child Left Behind. Us talking about how proud we were of what we'd done, but how we knew that if we didn't get it fixed by the end of the 6th year, it would go from being a positive change in education to a negative. It's now 13 years later. We've gone 7 years without a reauthorization. And what became a good goal of meeting adequate yearly progress, setting standards for schools, remediating schools that were in trouble, it's become a bill that 80% of the school systems in America have to ask for waivers to even operate on. It's a bill that no longer is doing what it was intended to do for the education of our children. And I want to commend Senator Alexander and Senator Murray for the unbelievable good work they've done to bring about the new reform of ESCA to the floor of the Senate today. I participated in all the hearings, as did the President of the Senate and the presiding officer. You know what I know, that we brought about compromise and common sense and created a bill that's good for children, good for educators, and good for America. First and foremost, it gets us out of the National School Board business, which is Chairman Alexander's favorite statement for the Department of Education. You know, people forget the U.S. Department of Education is not mentioned anywhere in the Constitution of the United States. It's mentioned in two places. One is Title I in the Civil Rights Act of the 1960s, when we provided funds for free and reduced lunch students who were poor students to give them a leg up. And second, in 1978, when in the Carter administration, we passed what was known as Public Law 94-192, which created special needs children benefits, or what's known as the Individuals with Disabilities Act. Those are the only two places in statute the federal government has a role. Senator Murray and Senator Alexander have seen to it that we recognize that fact. We enhance education where we're supposed to, but we turn it back over to the states where it belongs and where it should be. Secondly, one of the big buzzwords and bad brand labels that has taken place in education is Common Core. Common Core is a lot of things to a lot of people, but most importantly to many people, it's a federal mandate of standards. It's a homogenization of standards. It's a mandate the American people don't like. This bill ensures there will be no Common Core mandate by the federal government to the states and ensures local control of curriculum from beginning to end. And then, as I said a minute ago, to ensure that it gives local control, it does away with the waiver business and puts all local school boards and state boards of education in control of their education. On the question of testing, it does away with federally mandated tests and says to systems, you develop the test and the assessment mechanism yourself. We just want you to have standards that are made good for students to improve and grow their education. But we want to make sure that every student has the access they can to be tested well and improved. For example, we've done some creative things in this bill, like give assisted technology funding capability out of Title I to handicapped children in Title I qualifications so they can use assisted technology to take exams that they otherwise could not take. A student with cerebral palsy, Duchenne's, or many other diseases doesn't have the coordination ability to take a paper and pencil test. Yet they can be bright, they can be a genius. Because of technology that's been developed in America, assisted technology can allow them to take that exam given the disabilities that they have. And it's only appropriate that we authorize the use of Title I funds to do that. Most importantly, though, we keep the parent in control of their child's life by giving them the permission to opt out of any state test that's mandated where the state allows an opt-out, which means the parent's in control of testing, the state's in control of the assessment and the type of model that it takes place, and the federal government is saying to local schools and local state boards of education, you take our children to the next level. We'll assist you, but we're not going to govern you and we're not going to run you. I want to commend Senator Alexander and Senator Murray for bringing together a bipartisan approach to education reform that works. I want to thank the American Federation of Teachers, the National Association of Educators, the National School Superintendents Association, the National Governors Conference. Every vested organization in education in the United States of America has all endorsed this bill. They have because they know it's time for education to be enhanced and improved from the local level up. They know the benefits that may have come from No Child Left Behind have long since passed. We're now disaggregating, we're now measuring, we're doing all the things we should have been doing all along. Let's take what's a good platform and let's make it even better to assure that every child learns, every child progresses, and every child succeeds.